This is one of the biggest in-person Digimon tournaments you'll ever see. With over 900 players, the Bandai Card Game Festival is happening in Los Angeles, California, hosting the North American Final Championships event, which is also known as Nationals. And of course, I'm going to be competing in this event and trying to reach the very top. But first, let's talk about what deck I'm going to be bringing. For this particular format, it's going to be mainly revolved around the EX5 Animal Coliseum set. For those who've been following my EX5 content recently, you guys would know that ANUBISmon is definitely one of the strongest decks of this particular format. And with no surprise, that is exactly what I'm going to be bringing into this particular event. The goal of the deck is to get into your ANUBISmon as quickly as possible so that you can bring out your subsidiary boss Digimon of the deck, which is Mervamon, and you can potentially play it for almost no cost because you're going to be gaining a lot of memory back all at the same time and reducing its play cost via digicrossing alongside with ANUBISmon's cost reduction effect. Once Mervamon is out, you can also bring out 2 extra bodies back from trash with its effect, really creating a wide board presence so that you can actually swing multiple times to win games very quickly. The deck can also cycle through the deck by drawing cards and trashing them at the same time, which really shows how efficient the core engine really is. My friends and I have been playtesting over on the DCGO simulator made by Huang and his teams, shout out to them, as well as on webcam and even proxying in person. And we've been debating and also been trying to analyze and learn as much as we can with the meta with all the different matchups for ANUBISmon. We even played mirrors to really try to excel our knowledge from all of that. And needless to say, all of us felt really prepared, and also my other friends opted in to play this particular deck. However, there are some minor differences between all our builds because when it comes to ratios and tech choices, we all have different preferences to really suit our own play style. And after spending all the time playtesting and learning the meta, I felt as prepared as I could be. And guess what? It's time. Let's head to LA and we'll see you guys there. So we've just landed in LA, and one of the first things that we wanted to do was to grab some food just before we hit up the convention, and this is exactly where we decided to go. After grabbing a quick bite, it is definitely time to head over to the convention as soon as possible so that we can pre-register and check in for the event. And by doing so, we get to get our participation cards and as well as extra bonus packs, which we have some of them right here. And I can't wait to show you guys what's inside these. Starting off with our opening first, I do want to show you guys the playmat that I got from the premium Bandai store, which features the Bandai Card Game Festival for this year and for Digimon. And the artwork this time that they decided to go for is Dorogoromon, which is one of my personal favorites, and you can also see Omnimon at the back, which is really nice. And of course, the card that I'm most looking forward to is definitely the Imperiumon Dragon Mode Ace, which we did get from BT14 when it came out. And again, this card has the official Bandai Card Games Festival stamp on it, which definitely gives it a whole new sort of artwork alongside, which is really, really nice to see, and I'm definitely going to be keeping it. For participating, we're also going to get ourselves a couple of event pack 5s, which I'm definitely missing in sort of completing my collection for my binder. I do keep a binder to try to collect every event pack card I can, at least one of each, and put it inside this binder and sort of have it as a whole collection for myself. As you guys can see, we still are 4 cards short to finishing off this binder collection, and it's a little bit unfortunate because the event pack 5 is basically over after this season, and I was really hoping to sort of like complete it without necessarily getting the singles. But I guess, you know, I'll probably be looking for trades locally and gonna be asking around if I ever see you guys there too. Now, for the moment that we've all been waiting for, there is the exclusive Digimon Card Game Championship pack here, which has some brand new alt arts for the English version of the card game, and these are absolutely magnificent, and I'm really excited to open them. And of course, I am trying to collect myself one of each artwork to put inside the collection binder and set aside. And I gotta say, these artworks are just really fantastic. The full art and alt arts, I definitely have several of my favorites. I really like the Lugarmon in there. It's just really, really cool with the whole upper angle that you get to see. I love the Vidramon as well, because the blue and having Impmon being on the side as well at the same time is just really, really cool too. And definitely gonna be adding it into my All Force deck profiles that I would ever make in the future too, to feature it because how awesome it looks. And one of my personal favorites, of course, is going to be the Purge of the Royal Knights. Purge of the Royal Knights is definitely a very highly sought after card, I would say. Probably one of the coolest ones because many of you guys are probably Royal Knights fans too, right? And you definitely want to bling it up, and seeing that full art version of Omnimon, Gallantmon, and Magnamon standing together with the cover art of BT13 all together is really, really cool. All of these are just absolutely fantastic. They're just really, really good alt art cards, and I'm very sure many of you guys appreciate it as well. And this is, once again, guys, why you want to be joining and participating in these exclusive tournaments when you can. And that is because you guys can always get access to these exclusive alt art cards, which are usually not easy to get. It's always really nice to see fantastic alt art cards that are exclusive to fan favorite Digimon of the game as well. And that's usually one of my favorite parts of participating in these exclusive tournaments, is to showcase all these amazing artworks. But of course, it is getting late in the night and definitely want to be hitting the bed soon, try to get myself rested as much as possible so that I can get ready for the big tournament day tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. One of the first few things and biggest impressions I want to mention about this particular event this time is that it's actually being hosted alongside with One Piece, Battle Spirits, and Dragon World? No, it's Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball World Fusion. That's what I believe what it's called, right? I actually never looked up into the game before. But to my point is that there's gonna be a lot of people attending this event, playing various different games, and it's a really huge step up compared to last year's Nationals, because last year's Nationals was really just all about Digimon in particular, but this time, it's like almost having like a mini Bandai convention, because it actually included a lot of other cool things to look at. There was a lot of displays, there was a lot of galleries, there was actually a lot of other activities that you can participate in, even though you're not playing, such as like completing the survey. And that's probably one of the few things that I do want to get done and get checked off over the weekend. But like I mentioned, the tournament is probably the most important thing, so let's just get right into that. So the tournament overall did run pretty smoothly for myself. I was kind of XO into round 4 and into round 5 potentially, which was pretty good. It did exponentially got harder towards the half end of it, and that's because then I started seeing some mirror matches with ANUBISmon, and it is really all about on who sees their pieces first and who's able to set up their Psychmon to sort of slow down the opponent's play. Most of the time I did felt like I was playing from behind just because my opponents were able to go first and they can turbo into their stacks and go into their full combo way more efficiently than I was. Towards the end, it wasn't really going my way as much as I was trying to hope for. But the other one of big things that I've kind of missed with my friends during playtesting was the rise of Red Hybrid. Red Hybrid actually came into the tournament with Storm, and it's actually a very good counter against ANUBISmon. Firstly, it's one of those decks that can actually OTK you out of nowhere, or even just take out a chunk of security out of nowhere and you don't have enough time to respond. If you are not able to respond, there's nothing much you can actually do to make the comeback. Not only that, Red Hybrid can include various option cards such as Crimson Blaze or even Trident Gaia, which are really good powerful removal tools, and Emperor Greymon from BT12 itself is also removal, where you can actually deal with ANUBISmon's board fairly easily and consistently too. Most of the builds I also faced off against were also running Ukomons, and with Ukomons being added into the mix, they're able to sort of like digivolve, promote, and go repeat that very, very quickly, which is actually quite a lot of momentum to try to keep up with, especially when you don't see your pieces as the ANUBISmon player. I did face against 2 Red Hybrid players towards the end of the later matches, which I did end up losing 2-0 against, and I gotta admit, that was something that we were a little bit underprepared for when we were playtesting in the early stages, and I think that was just one of my mistakes. But hey, you live and you learn, and maybe we'll just do better next time to cover more wider matchups. After 10 to 11 hard rounds of Digimon, unfortunately we finished X4. At least we got to place top 256, but we weren't able to make the top 64 top cut to play the next day of day 2. But even so, all the opponents that I faced were all really good and incredibly friendly. Most of them knew who I was as well, so they greeted me, which is really, really nice. So to all of those that I played against throughout all my rounds and are watching this video right now, thank you so much for the games, and it was definitely a pleasure playing against all of you. But that isn't just all. Throughout the day, if you guys have been following me on YouTube or on Twitter and socials and stuff like that, you would know that I've actually have a bunch of goodies to to give away throughout the tournament day as well. So not only I was just playing, but I was also meeting a lot of you guys. Huge shout outs to those who came up to me and greeted me, which was really nice to see. And my other mission was to give out a bunch of goodies from the AVAULT store to really show you guys how much I really appreciate all the support, and taking photos and meeting all of you was incredibly fun. Seeing how happy you guys were to receive some of these gifts were just really heartwarming, and it really just made my day, which is probably most important of this entire event, because I'm here to enjoy myself and have fun. So if any of you guys ever want to get a chance to get some free giveaways, definitely pay attention to my socials, because I'll be announcing where I'll be traveling and where I'll be going every here and now and then. I would love to meet you guys as well next time. I do also want to quickly mention how cool it was during the entire event, because they were also showcasing some exclusive reviews for the Digimon card game to us in the upcoming year. Not only we're going to be getting some exclusive Double Typhoon cards, one of the craziest things is that they were handing out Digimon Liberator packs, and these packs were given out during the time where you're at the venue. Not only that, they reviewed some really crazy poster artwork right here. You guys can see where kind of gives us a bit of an idea, a little bit of spoiler and leaks of what's up to come and what we can expect from Digimon Liberator. One of the things I realized, of course, right off the bat is the Virus Evo Imperial. And many of us are just saying, are we going to be getting new support for that? We definitely are, for sure, right? And when that time comes, I'm excited to be playing that deck once again, because it's definitely one of my favorite decks to play too. Now, although I didn't make it to day 2, I do want to give a huge shout out to one of my friends, Fu, who is part of my playtesting group and one of my closer friends within the Battle Vault squad as well, who actually made it to top 64. And even beginning of the tournament, or even before the tournament, I felt like he would be the one to make it out of all of us, because he actually spent a lot of time playtesting and improving and also learning the meta and finding all the nitty-gritty interactions and details, and keep on discovering new things, which was really cool as he was sharing with us, right? As we're playing Anubismon mirror matches, and then eventually came up with the Leviamon counter, and then we also sort of like discussed the Hunters matchup, which is kind of coming up and creeping up from behind. And all of that really came down to all the research that he's done, and honestly, well deserved. And Fu, if you're watching this, shout outs to you. I'll see you at locals in a couple of days, right? You're gonna be playing BT15 3v3 alongside with me and Mario too. I'm also not done with Digimon yet. I'm not Digimon out yet, because in day 2, if you don't make it to top 64, there's actually a lot of side events that you get to participate in. And one of the really cool things about this time is that all side events are actually absolutely free. And the main reason why we're participating in this 3v3 tournament is so that we can get ourselves this exclusive Koromon right here, which also includes a couple of the cards which we are going to be opening up in a bit. But you can also potentially win a Black War Greymon and Metal Greymon alt-art, which is absolutely fantastic. That's not all, because it also includes the Beelzemon Blast Mode and Beelzemon and Impmon, drawn by none other than Nauchika, which is 100% one of my favorite artists of the Digimon card game. But unfortunately, we didn't make it too far. We weren't able to make it to top 4 or even win the tournament, but it was still a lot of fun playing the entire event. And it was definitely a breath of fresh air, especially when it comes to playing best of ones, because the format does feel a lot quicker and faster too. And you're actually done much quicker. And with all that time left, it definitely makes sense to explore around the entire venue and try to get some of the survey stuff done, and also try to get some scavenger hunt stuff done as well. And in the end, we did get a bunch of these, so let's open them up with all of you guys. Like I mentioned earlier, the 3-on-3 participation pack comes with several cards with the Koromon, Yammon, and a Death Slinger, and my personal favorite would definitely be Death Slinger. I've always wanted an alt-art card for this, and hopefully sometime down the road in the future we can get ourselves a full art version of the Death Slinger option card. As for the illustration competition pack of 2023, it includes abundance of artworks drawn by various artists within the community, and I believe that anyone can participate in this competition to have a chance of their own artwork featuring any Digimon that they like to be made into a Digimon card. I gotta say, my favorites has to be the Imperialdramon Dragon Mode and War Greymon, where the Imperialdramon artwork contains a very nice scenery with the whole landscape concept, where you guys can see a lot of different details and trivials when you look closely at it. As for the Wargreymon, it certainly hits differently with the line art style that the artist chose, especially it doesn't really require much color to be involved. You guys can see the crest of courage symbol highlighting with Agumon as it was warp digivolving into Wargreymon, which looks incredibly epic. Next up, we got the Digimon Liberator promotion pack, which is aimed to feature the all-new Digimon webcomic, which is coming in spring 2024. While opening these packs, we get to take the first look of how some of these characters look like and designs based on it. We definitely have a Shumon and a Shushumon, which I know some of you guys have already been memeing about it being a Pikachu. It really does look like a Pikachu, and we can expect to see more Digivolution and support of these archetypes down the road as the webcomic continues to progress, eventually bringing in some new decks that we can be playing in the card game, which is going to be really fantastic. After another long day of Digimon, it is finally dinner time, and gotta admit, we're really hungry right now. And one of the things that I always really like to do when I come to LA is definitely to make steaks at home, and this is personally what I think is the best way to enjoy it. And yes, I gotta admit, I am a bit of a steak connoisseur myself, just because I really enjoy the flavor that it has. It's just very beefy, it's very juicy, and it's incredibly soft, and yeah. Steak is definitely one of my favorite foods. So after getting some rest over the night, our trip hasn't actually quite ended yet, and that is because I booked in a few extra days to explore a little bit more in LA, and I still want to share with you guys before we decide to head home. One of the places that my friends and I really wanted to go to was Frank & Sons, and we actually missed that out from last year because it's really interesting. Frank & Sons is a kind of convention place, which is also known as the largest TCG store in whole North America. It's an entire building which includes a lot of anime related stuff such as figures, toys, cards, anything you can imagine, and they're only open either on the weekend or Wednesdays. Needless to say, we weren't able to go during the weekend because we were at the convention, so we stayed all the way to Wednesday just to go to this place to check it out. Other than just exploring around LA and trying all the awesome, amazing food, one of the things that I've always really liked to do when I come here is to go to the arcade, which is also called Round 1. There are multiple locations across the entire city, and it has one of the best library of games, which are mainly imported from Japan, which are really cool. But I'm mainly actually only there for one thing, and one game really only, and that is called Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune, and the latest version that they currently have at Round 1 is 5DX+. Now, a little bit of a backstory about myself. These are one of the hobbies and games I like to play, other than just Digimon alone, and I gotta say, back in high school or several years ago, I played this game quite a lot, like a lot. So if any of you guys are Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune fans out there, you guys would probably know that this game is incredibly fun. And one of the favorite parts about playing this game is that it's very mechanically challenging. It's very skill based, and you get to race against your friends, but not only friends, you get to meet friends and race against other people within the arcade, and you get to make friends that way, which is pretty cool because that's how I met some of my other friends currently too. And one of the best things about this particular game, which was also made by Bandai Namco, coincidentally, is that they have a Banner Passport system, which is a card that saves all your card data so that you can reuse it the next time when you come to the arcade and play. It's kind of like making an account, and you get to save all your data. One of the cool aspects is that you get to level up your car, which they call tuning, and the higher level you level up your car, the faster and stronger it becomes, so then you can compete against others. Once you reach the maximum level, you can also go for dress up parts and change the colors of your car, change stickers, and decorate it to any personalized style that you want for yourself, which is also incredibly cool. And that's one of the things that hooked me up into this game. But not only that, the challenge is amazing. You know, you get to play against other players, compete, and all that kind of stuff. And it's definitely one of the favorite games I've always liked to play when I come to the arcade. I basically go to Round 1 every single night when I'm here in LA. But it is our last night here in LA. It is time to get some rest, go home, and the next day we're gonna be flying back to home already. we're finally home, and I gotta say this entire trip was just absolutely amazing. It's really, really fun, like not only just playing Digimon, but exploring and having an entire vacation, almost an entire week, is definitely very refreshing. And meeting most of you guys during the event was really, really cool. I really, really loved it. Like, I didn't realize that how many fans, how many people actually recognized me, and all of you guys that came up to say hi. I definitely appreciate it, and it's definitely really nice meeting you. And you guys might hear this a lot, but honestly, the Digimon community is really absolutely incredible. Everyone's incredibly friendly, really chill, and really, really, really nice to each other, even at a competitive level, right? It's really something that just, you know, keeps us all together, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy the game, but also the community itself as well. And yeah, once again, for those, definitely stay tuned, because I'll be traveling a lot, going to as many in-person events as I can, and I would love to see you guys there someday as well. And yeah, you might win yourself a free giveaway too. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this new style of video, just like a vlog, a little bit of a recap and everything that I'm talking about with my entire experience of playing the Digimon card game. If you might want to see more vlogs kind of like these, let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a like and share it with your friends, and maybe sometime, someday in the future, you guys might be featured in it as well. But with that being said, as usual, you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video, and this is AVAULT signing out.